Imagine walking into a room where two people with the exact same job are sitting side by side. They do the same work, same hours, and have the same experience. But one of them quietly makes thousands of dollars more every year, just because they knew how to negotiate their salary. That is the hidden secret most beginners never learn. And today, I am going to show you how to unlock it. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to walk into a salary negotiation with confidence, what to say, what not to say, and how to get the paycheck you deserve. Stick around, because in a few minutes, I will share a tactic that studies show can increase your salary by over 10% without changing a single thing about your job performance. Number 1. Why salary negotiation matters. Let's start with this. Most people never negotiate their salary. Research from Glassdoor shows that more than 60% of workers accept the first offer they are given. That means they are leaving money on the table, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars over the course of a career. Here's the truth. Companies expect negotiation. It's built into the hiring process. If you don't ask, they save money. If you do ask the right way, you often get more. For example, imagine being offered $50,000. If you negotiate just 5% higher, that's an extra $2,500 a year. Over 10 years, that's $25,000 more, without working extra hours. That is why this matters. Number 2, the mindset shift you need. The first step isn't about words, it's about mindset. Many beginners feel scared, thinking they might seem greedy or ungrateful if they ask for more. But here's the truth. Negotiation isn't begging. It's business. Think of it this way. When you buy a car, do you just accept the sticker price? Of course not. You check the market, you compare deals, and you push for the best offer. Salary negotiation works the same way. Companies budget for negotiations. They won't take back your offer just because you asked. The worst case is they say no. The best case, you walk away with more money in your pocket every single year. Number 3, do your homework first. You can't negotiate blindly. You need data. That means researching the average salary for your role, your experience, and your location. Websites like Glassdoor, Indeed, and PayScale give you real salary ranges. For example, if you are applying for a marketing manager role in New York, and the market shows salaries between $70,000 and $90,000, you know your range before you even step into the conversation. When you say, based on my research, professionals in this field typically earn around $80,000 to $90,000. You sound informed, not demanding. Employers respect numbers more than feelings. Number 4, timing is everything. Many beginners make the mistake of asking about salary too early. If you talk money before showing your value, you lose leverage. The best time to negotiate is after you've received an offer, but before you accept it. At this point, the company has already decided they want you. That gives you power. For example, imagine you're in an interview. If they ask about your salary expectations right away, don't lock yourself into a number. Instead, say something like, I'd love to focus on the role and responsibilities first. Once we both agree it's a great fit, I'm confident we can come to a fair number. That way, you keep the door open for a stronger offer later. Number 5, know your value and communicate it. Here's the secret most people miss. Negotiation is less about asking and more about proving. You need to show why you're worth more. That means highlighting your skills, achievements, and results. Employers don't just pay for hours. They pay for outcomes. For example, instead of saying, I've worked here for 3 years, so I want more, say, in the last 3 years, I've increased sales by 20%, managed a team of 5, and saved the company over $10,000 in costs. Based on this impact, I believe a salary of $65,000 reflects my contributions. See the difference? One sounds like a demand. The other sounds like a business case. Number 6, use silence as a tool. This is one of the most powerful negotiation tricks. When you ask for more and the employer pauses, don't rush to fill the silence. Stay calm. Why? Because silence creates pressure. It forces the other person to respond. Many beginners panic and start lowering their request before the employer even answers. Don't do that. For example, if you say, I was hoping for closer to $60,000, and the hiring manager stays quiet, resist the urge to say, but $55,000 is fine too. Wait. You'll be surprised how often silence ends with them saying, "We can do that." Number 7. The anchoring strategy. Anchoring means setting the first number in the negotiation. Studies show the first number often pulls the final agreement closer to it. For example, if you ask for $75,000 and they were planning $65,000, they might meet you at $70,000, but if you only ask for $68,000, they may settle at $66,000. The trick is to aim slightly higher than your target. If your goal is $70,000, ask for $73,000. That gives you room to compromise while still landing where you want. Number 8. Don't focus only on salary. Money matters, but it's not the only thing you can negotiate. Beginners often forget about benefits. You can ask for signing bonuses, extra vacation days, flexible working hours, education stipends, or even remote work options. For example, let's say they can't raise your salary beyond $55,000. You can say, "I understand the budget is limited. Could we explore a signing bonus of $5,000 or additional vacation days?" These benefits can add huge value to your life without costing the company much. Number 9. Practice before the real thing. Negotiation is a skill, and like any skill, you get better with practice. Don't wait until you're sitting in front of a hiring manager to try it for the first time. Practice with a friend, record yourself, or even practice in front of a mirror. Role-play the conversation. Prepare responses to common questions like, "What's your salary expectation?" Or "Why do you think you deserve more?" The more you rehearse, the more confident you'll sound when it counts. Number 10. Watch out for common mistakes. Here are a few mistakes that kill negotiations. First, don't give a range unless you are happy with the lowest number in that range. If you say, "I want between $60,000 and $70,000, they will hear $60,000. Second, don't accept an offer on the spot. Even if it sounds good, say, "Thank you for the offer. I'd like to take some time to review it." That gives you space to think and respond strategically. Third, don't make it personal. Saying, "I need more because my rent went up," won't work. Focus on your value, not your expenses. Number 11. The power of confidence. Confidence changes everything. Employers can sense if you believe in your worth. Speak clearly, sit up straight, and make eye contact if it's in person. You don't need to be arrogant. You just need to be sure of yourself. Confidence makes the difference between, "I was wondering if maybe you could consider paying me more, and based on my skills and experience, I believe $65,000 is a fair salary." Which one sounds like someone you'd want to hire? Number 12. When they say no. Sometimes, even after all your efforts, the company might say no. But here's the secret. You can still win. If they say no to salary, pivot to other benefits. Or ask about a timeline for a raise. For example, say, "I understand the budget is tight. Could we revisit this conversation in 6 months after I've shown my impact?" This shows flexibility and keeps the door open for future increases. Many companies will respect you more for handling rejection professionally. Number 13. Real-life success story. Let me give you an example. Sarah, a junior software developer, got an offer for $65,000. She did her research and found the market average was closer to $72,000. Instead of just accepting, she said, "Based on my skills and the industry average, I was hoping for $75,000. The employer came back with $72,000 plus an extra week of vacation. That's $7,000 more per year just for asking. Over 5 years, that's $35,000. All because she negotiated. Number 14. Why this works in any career. You might be thinking, "This sounds good, but will it work in my field?" The answer is yes. Negotiation isn't just for tech jobs or finance roles. Teachers, nurses, retail managers, people in almost every profession can negotiate in some way. Even if your salary is fixed, you can often negotiate hours, bonuses, or benefits. The point is, if you don't ask, you don't get. And if you do ask strategically, you often walk away with more than you started. Number 15. Negotiate in writing when possible. When you get an offer, try to move the negotiation into email. Why? Because in writing, you have more time to think about your words and craft a professional response. It also gives you a record of what was said, which can prevent confusion later. For example, If they offer you $55,000, you can reply by email with your counter offer and supporting reasons instead of feeling pressured to respond instantly on the phone. Number 16. Use the power of multiple offers. If you have more than one job offer, you have serious leverage. You don't have to play companies against each other aggressively, but you can say something like, I do have another opportunity on the table at around $70,000. If you're able to match that, I'd love to move forward here. This shows your value in the market and can often push employers to raise their offer. Number 17. Ask open-ended questions. Instead of making demands, ask questions that encourage discussion. For example, say, is there flexibility on the starting salary? Or what can we do to get closer to $65,000? Questions open doors, while statements sometimes shut them. Number 18. Pay attention to non-salary perks. Some benefits might not seem obvious, but can save you money in the long run. Things like health insurance, gym memberships, transportation stipends, or even childcare assistance can add thousands of dollars in value each year. Always look at the full package, not just the number on your paycheck. Number 19. Show excitement alongside negotiation. Employers want to know you are enthusiastic about the role. When negotiating, balance your request with excitement. For example, say, I'm really excited about the opportunity to join this team. Based on my experience, I'd love to discuss adjusting the salary closer to $60,000 to reflect the value I bring. This makes you sound motivated, not just money-focused. Number 20. Negotiate future reviews. If the company truly can't budge on salary now, negotiate a performance review timeline. You can ask, would it be possible to set a salary review in 6 months instead of waiting a full year? This gives you a clear path forward and sets expectations for a raise sooner rather than later. Number 21. Keep your emotions in check. Negotiations can feel personal, but you need to stay calm and professional. If you get frustrated or defensive, you weaken your position. Think of it like a game of chess. Every move should be strategic, not emotional. Number 22. Learn when to walk away. Sometimes the best decision is to decline an offer that doesn't meet your worth. If a company refuses to pay fairly and won't budge on benefits, walking away sends a message that you value yourself. It can feel scary, but often, a better opportunity will come along. Number 23. Use the Columbo technique. This is a simple but powerful move. Right when the conversation seems over, politely add, oh, one more thing. Could we revisit the signing bonus? This small afterthought request often gets approved because the big decision has already been made. Number 24. Always express gratitude. Even while negotiating, thank the employer for their time and offer. Gratitude builds goodwill and keeps the conversation positive. It's the difference between sounding like a partner versus sounding like a problem. Imagine this. 10 years from now, two people with the same job title look at their savings. One has $50,000 more in the bank, all because they negotiated their salaries every step of the way. The other regrets never asking, which one will you be? Now that you know the strategies, the next move is yours. So here's my question for you. If you had to negotiate your salary tomorrow, what's the one thing you would ask for first?